Okay. My name is Brett Nicholson, and I'm with One Life Church in Evansville. Yes, I love sharing the creation story because it is unique in the sense that it is very much and famously is told in the first chapter of the Bible, and it emphasizes, I think, two very important things. Number one is that the Creator is the creator of all things, and I like to think of it as presented as artist to art. Not made of the same thing, but is revealed inside that creation. In other words, there's things that you can look at and see in the same way that you can look at things that an artist makes. You can see the things that the creator makes, and so you can learn something about him. And then he kind of goes through this process, and then the creation story turns to something that's very interesting because human beings are considered the crowning moment of that creation, but that was very important then because he says human beings are created in the image of God. And that word image is used later for idol, and it was only used for kings at that time. And so just saying that's true of humanity in general was a very radical and revolutionary thing that the Bible gave to the world, which places a certain level and a true dignity on all human beings. The way we participate in the spiritual life of our community, we believe that because that people are created in God's image, number one, and number two, that the physical world was created by God himself. That it's spiritual is both spiritual and what we might call natural, or we kind of think in terms of holistic things. So we participate by supporting education. We try to build partnerships with schools, and we are very big believers in the importance of art and beauty and in developing neighborhoods, and we try to support ministries that do that kind of thing, restoration work. One of our mottos around here is we don't want to build just a great church, we want to build a great city. And so that's how we participate not only with people spiritually because they know we're a church and we want to be a place of worship, but we also want to contribute to our community on a holistic level, you should say. If I get one choice, I would say it is the tradition of always having music as a part of what we do. For one, I'm a musician, but second of all, that's kind of my world that I came from. But also I think it's pretty fascinating that most religions, as I understand them, it's not that they don't do music, but oftentimes it's chanting or something like that. And the Christian church has been associated with music and even prior to that, with Jewish tradition, music is present. The Psalms of the Bible is the longest book in the Bible. It's in the middle, and it's a book of song lyrics. And so, and the reason that's so important is because music, I heard it said that music is the sound. If feelings had a sound, that would be music. And so it connects both the intellectual, the spiritual, the emotional, and even the physical are all kind of wrapped together in music. And so when you go to Christian worship services, they're always singing. And I used to think that was a little odd when I was growing up. And now that I've done it so long, I think it's just an absolutely critical part because it puts you in tune with things both emotionally and spiritually and otherwise. When it comes to service in the community, I do go back to the creation story that we mentioned before, that God is the creator, not only what we label as spiritual, but also the physical, the created world, from the ground to wood and sky and all the materials of the world. And he actually says to human beings, you're not only created in my image, but I want you to subdue the earth. And subdue means bring out its full potential. And so we regard even building great businesses or creating great art or educating people or just doing the stuff of regular life and enterprise and helping one another in that way is a reflection of the image of God, but it's also a reflection of love your neighbor as yourself. I like to say it this way, is like city building is neighbor loving, because we're all in this city and we all want, everybody, even if you're an atheist or whatever religion you are, everybody kind of wants a lot of the same things. We want a good economy, we want good education for our kids, we want beauty, we want to thrive, and so we want to be a part of that. So anytime we do anything in the community that's designed to add value up, it's a way of loving our neighbor. And so that's why we do it, because Jesus said very directly, love your neighbor as yourself. Well, that's what I want in my life, so I'm going to assume that that's what others want in their lives. I think what strikes me as the most common misconception is that the Christian church is, in the end, is about an ethical code, purely. And that's really it. There's this list of here is what you should not do, here's what you should do. And yes, it has an ethical code, but it's about something far greater. The whole story, beginning from the creation story all the way through, is about relationship. It's about the reconciliation of relationship. The basic story goes, a creator made all things and put the image of God in there in human beings, and the relationship got severed. And the rest of the story is about reuniting and reconciliation of the relationship. And of course, ethics and morals enter into that, just like it does in any relationship. I think most of us have had relationships break because of moral breaks that people do against us. We were betrayed, we were hurt, we were those kinds of things. How do you reconcile those things? And so I wish people knew that it was about the reconciliation of the relationship in Christ, and that's the whole reason he came, was to call people into that renewed and reconciled relationship with their Creator. I would say a few things. Number one, I would say if you wanted to know more about, say, the Protestant faith, you find a church, and there's a number of, I know several pastors in this area. I know there's a lot of great churches around here. I would look for a place that had a sense of vibrancy about it. It had was doing something in the community. There was some growth there. There was several generations there, that kind of thing, and there was kind of life going on, if you will. If you really want to check out what it's really like, and just start there, just kind of a place like that. The second thing I would do is I am going to recommend something that we produced, but it was done by people from our community, and it was a film piece that we shot in another part of the country, but a crew from Evansville wrote it, filmed it, and it walks through the Christian faith from the perspective of maybe someone who doesn't understand it, and also from the perspective of comparing and contrasting with other religions. It's on our YouTube channel called One Life Network, and it's called Centered, and it literally walks from creation. There's seven different videos that you can watch that they're easy on the eyes too. There's a lot of cool scenery and some interesting kind of animation to them and that kind of stuff, and where we explain that. So I would recommend that because we're proud of the work we did, I guess you'd say. So another one would be a site called The Bible Project, which is something that is on YouTube, and they have taken a very creative approach to explaining what the Bible is to people who don't necessarily know anything about it at all. They actually do introductions to all the different books, and they do it in a very engaging way, and also very deep and well-informed way. So I would point people to The Bible Project.